Hello guys, and welcome to the second video of our Python playlist. And in this video we will be learning that how we can use the printing functions and how can we get the input from user. So for that, because it is basic programming, so I will be using the idle IDE. So let me open that. So we have to write IDLE. So here idle is written, you can see. And now we should create a new file. Basically, Python don't need, or basically when we are creating small projects and when we do not need any kind of functionality, so we can just write the statements and execute them. So for that, so this means that in C and C++ or in Java, we needed the public static void main in Java and int main in C and C++. But in Python, we can work without the main function or any other function. But we can create functions if we want to design a bigger project. So if we want to print something, for that, we will just write print, and in the inverted commas, we will write hello world. And now we will save this. We have to save this whenever we want. So I have created a folder for my Python playlist. So I am saving this Python file with the name of first code in that folder. So if we want to run this, we have to press F5, and you can see hello world is printed as it is. Now if I want to print world on the next line, for that I can write \n over here. Now if I will run this after saving the file, you can see hello is printed in the first line and world is printed on the second line or on the next line. So basically the \n is the next line character over here. And if I write \t over here, so this will be creating a tab between hello and world. Here you can see. Now, if, for example, I want to add another line, so I can write, if I want to print another line, so I can write print, and let's write video 2. This video 2 will be printed on the next line. It means that hello world will be on the first line and video 2 will be printed on the second line. You can see. So hello world is printed on the first line and video 2 is printed on the second line. So if I want that both of these prompts to be printed on the same line, so here, for example, hello world, and next to hello world, here there should be written video 2. So for that, I will write comma and equal to single quotations and space. Now, what will happen basically is that hello world space video 2 will be printed. So if I run this, Control S and F5, so you can see that hello world space video 2 is now printed. Now, if I want, for example, another, for example, in future we will have video 3. So this video 3 will be printed on the next line of hello world and video 2. So if you can see, so hello world video 2 is written in the first line and video 3 is on the second line. So if I also want video 3 to be part of the same line as hello world and video 2 is, so we will write comma and is equal to single quotations and space. And now if we will run this, so hello world, video 2, video 3 is on the same line now. Now, if we want to, for example, we have several paragraphs. In the paragraph, we have several spaces. We have several, we can say, tabs and several lines. So for that, what we can do, we have to write print and then 3 single quotes. And now we can write over here video 1, next line, video 2, next line, video 3, next line, video 4, and then 3 single quotes again. So if I will close this and I will run this, so we can see that video 1, video 2, video 3 and video 4 are like this. So when we want to print some paragraphs or some more lines, so we can use 3 single quotes also. This is the way. So when we want to print in several lines and we want to use a single print statement, so we can use this method. Now the printing is done. So let me comment all of this. And for that, we have to press Alt 3. And now this whole region is commented. Now we will get to know that how we can basically specify a variable, how can we create a variable, and how we can get input from user. So if we want to declare or initialize an integer variable, so we have to set its name. For example, I am saying it is a at equal to 0. This means that a is a variable which will be storing a integer value. If we want to create a variable which will be storing float values, float means real numbers 1.23 or 2.36 or 3.0, and which includes a decimal in it. So we will write b, for example, equal to 0.0. 0.0. Now if we want to store some name, we want to get an input as a string, a whole sentence. So for that, we will write s, for example, this is the identifier, equal to this, speed marks. This is how we can basically initialize the variables. We can declare the variables. So a is an integer type variable, b is a floating or real number, and s is a string value. In Python, basically there is no character type. So to specify that a user must input a single character, we will be getting to know about the validation checks in the next upcoming videos. So stay tuned to our channel. So if we want to create a Boolean variable, true or false, so for that, let me write a name, for example, C, which is equal to capital F A L S E. This will be for giving or initializing a Boolean variable with false, or we can write, for example, D is equal to capital TRUE for true. So now let me come to the point that how we can get input as an integer, float, and string in Python. So for that, what we have to do is that we have to write a, the variable, equal to integer input, and now we should write the prompt, that what we want basically. So enter a value. and let we also print that. So print inverted commas, the value is comma a. Now if we want to input a float number or real number, we can write b is equal to float input and then enter a value. So we will write print, and here the value is comma b. Let's check this, Control S and F5. So enter a value. I am writing a over here, but the thing is that we have different integer. So here it is giving us error. Variable a is specified for an integer, is declared as an integer variable, but we are entering a character, so that's why it generated an error. So if I will start this again, F5, and then I will write 1, 2, 3 over here. So the value is 1, 2, 3, and if I write 3.26 over here, so the value is 3.26. So let me edit this. The integer value is a, and the float value is b. So the thing is that if we enter for example 30 over here, so this will, because that the variable was of real type, so it will when we want to print it, it will put 30.0 with it, okay, because the variable is of real type or float type. Now if we want to get a string as an input, so for that we have to just write input, enter something, and if we want to print it, so we have to write the string value is s. So the first value I am writing, if I enter 2.3 over here, this will also generate an error because we wanted a integer value. So let me run this again, and I should write 25 over here. Then basically I wrote the spelling of integer wrong, unfortunately. The problem with that, we will edit this and enter a value for float. So I will write 1.26789. So the float value is printed also. Enter something, let me write code mosaic, and here you can see the string value is code mosaic. Now if we want to, for example, I want to basically, let me edit this back, it is integer. So if I want all the sentences written next to each other, sentences written next to each other, so basically I can edit this, control X, so there are two ways. We could write comma end is equal to single quotes and space over here, comma end is equal to single quotes and space over here, or the second way is, for example, 1, 2, 3, 3.64, 2.64, and code mosaic. You can see they are printed in the same line. So if I want to print all of them in the same line, let me copy this. I will be writing a single print statement. You can see over here, comma, here you go. Now the integer value is a, the integer value is comma a, comma, the float value is comma b, the string value is comma s, and if I want to print this, here you go, enter a value that is 234, for example, another value that is float 1, so 3.26, and enter something. Let me write Python. So you can see both are written in both ways. We can write that whole as in a single line. So that's all for today. See you guys in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.